Well, welcome to Hard Talk with yours truly, Kofi Asante Mensah. As the country prepares for another general election this year, we are here to talk hard on Tumpani Television and EP Radio TV with yours truly, the cream of creams, Kofi Asante Mensah. Well, today I'm in session with a woman who loves to serve you so much, and she's preparing to tell us why she wants to step into Parliament. When I come out from this break, I will tell you who I have in the studio.
Hi. When was the last time you read a good book or listened to a great poetry piece? Do you feel lazy doing either of them? Well, let me invite you to join me this and every Thursday right here on EP Urban Radio and Tumpani TV from 5 to 5:30 p.m. as I treat you to some good book reviews and great poetry pieces from some of your great poets and authors. You can be a part of the show as well. Just send me a DM, and like I always say, join me on MPYOB. Let's chill.
Do you have a story that is boggling your mind? Marriage issues, relationship issues, or social issues? You name it. Which you wish to share but hide your identity? Worry the less. My story is just the right platform to help you find profound solutions to your problem. My name is Veronica Akom-Luxon, your host for my story.
This and every Monday, 8 to 8:45 p.m.
on EP Urban Radio TV
and Tumpani TV.
EP Urban Radio TV, the new face of radio and TV.
For sponsorship.
It's like our hearts have intertwined into the perfect harmony.
Hello and welcome back. It's still Hard Talk here on Tumpani TV. Don't forget, download our mobile app, and it is 2C TV. We are live on Go TV and live on all social media handles, and that is EP Urban Radio, EP Radio TV on Instagram, and it is EP Radio TV, and the number is 2. Don't forget to add the 2 so you can find us. Please go ahead and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and everywhere. Now let's get into session. I have the former tourism, culture and art, creative art, I must say, minister, the former minister, Honorable Mrs. Elizabeth Ofori Agyare in the studio. It's a pleasure to have you. Welcome to our studios.
Thank you for having me.
Let's begin. I'm learning that you are either the second or the third born of a family of about 10 women. True or false?
I'm the third of a family of 10.
Wow.
All my siblings are ladies.
Wow. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Then your father is a billionaire, I must say.
Yes. He was a happy man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he alive?
He passed 5 years ago.
Okay.
May he rest peacefully.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. How are your sisters doing?
They
10
are
of
doing
you?
well. Yes, 10 of us.
Wow.
Our firstborn is a director at District Assembly in Kumasi.
Okay.
Our second is the head of estate. And I'm the third.
Wow.
Our fourth is a manager at Ernst & Young.
Wow.
Our fifth is a pharmacist. Our sixth is a lecturer. Our seventh is an administrator.
Wow.
Our eighth is an administrator. Our ninth is a doctor. And our 10th is a law student.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Where's mommy?
She also passed.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So who took the Bedouin?
Okay, so 2 mothers did the job. One passed early, and the second one is there. So she took the Bedouin because she took care of the 6 of us and added 4.
Wow.
And so she had the Bedouin.
Oh my God, this is too nice.
Yes, very nice.
Let's move beyond and talk about you briefly. Who are you, if you can share with us?
Okay,
briefly?
so I am Elizabeth Ofosu Agyare,
okay,
the former Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts.
Absolutely.
Currently, I am the parliamentary candidate for Techimai North on the ticket of NDC, and I am for jobs, development, and the people. Finally, I'll be the big voice for the people of Techimai North in Parliament 2020, God willing.
Are you a lawyer too?
Yes, I'm a lawyer by profession. I'm the founder and head of Elizabeth Law Center at Airport Accra.
Okay.
And I have opened a new one at Tubodom, my constituency capital.
Wow. Wow. Why did you decide to go into politics?
Well, I have a natural urge to help people. I got the opportunity when I was in the university.
Okay.
When I served as the Women's Commission, Women's Organizer 14 in Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, at that time with Honorable Muntaka, Honorable Koye. A few of them are in Parliament now.
That's true.
And then later on in life, I was appointed Ghana's Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts. My desire to be a parliamentary candidate emanates from my own natural desire to help the people. Okay. And I think that if I become the member of parliament for people of Techimai North, I'll be well placed to help people. What even made it more interesting was the fact that my father was the first member of parliament for Techimai North. As I followed him throughout his campaign, after he won, how he helped people of Techimai North, and when he told me that anytime I get the opportunity, I should serve the people of Techimai North and help them. So all these things put together, and the fact that I really need to help the people of Techimai North get the needed jobs that they want, for development to come, for people to also live well, and finally be a very great voice for the people of Techimai North in Parliament. Then I realized that it is time for me to enter Parliament to do all of that.
Well, one would ask, is it only Parliament you can go to probably serve your people like your father recommended?
I think Parliament is one of the best ways I can serve my people in this direction.
Okay.
And so I am availing myself for the opportunity to be able to serve my people well.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the things you have essentially done for the people of Techimai North, under which you want them to entrust you with the seat of that place.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Before I became the Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, when my father became a bit old, then naturally I took over from him by helping the people to pay their hospital bills, pay their school fees, and all of that. When I got the opportunity to become Ghana's Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, the first district office I set up was in Techimai.
Oh, wow.
And I also know that we have two important tourism sites in Techimai North, Boyem and Tanoboase. So I had a discussion with the people and chiefs of Tanoboase. And they said that they wanted to market the tourist sites. What they needed for starters was a laptop so that they could put the things they have there and market it. Interestingly, when you go to Tanoboase, they already have good roads. And so for them, the first thing they needed to do was to market tourism. And I gave them that. When you go to Boyem, when I spoke to the people and chiefs of Boyem, they told me that the only thing that can promote their tourism will be their roads, because it was obvious to all of us that people would not like to visit Boyem in on that kind of road. Fortunately, at that time, I had a very good MP in the form of Honorable Alex Shreme. We quickly ran to government and were able to get a contract for the Boyem road to commence. The Boyem road started. The contractor was on the road. It was left with bitumen when we lost the election and then left. Unfortunately for us, as I sit here right now, the road had even deteriorated because apparently the contractor was sacked and the road could not continue. And so you will see that I had my eyes on tourism in Techimai North, and then I did what I had to do. As if that was not enough, I wanted Ofuman to also gain a proper boarding status for my secondary school. So I work with Get Fund to bring them a dormitory and then a dining hall, which started, but of course, it has not progressed the way I would wish it to progress. I am also for jobs, I have stated already.
Okay.
And it's not in 2020 that I'm going to look for job for people. The first time I'm going to look for job for people. I started this when I was a Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, where I facilitated for a lot of our young people to join the security forces, i.e. police, the army, and fire service. I help people to gain employment both in the public and civil service, in banks, and also from my old clients, I was able to get some of them to work in their companies. And so when you talk about creating jobs, I have a niche for creating jobs for our young people, and I started way back in 2013. Again, when you come to education, I'm of the opinion that it's good to learn in Ghana. And so I facilitated for some of our young people to get scholarships to learn in Ghana.
Wow.
But I also know that it's also good to also travel outside of Ghana and acquire knowledge from elsewhere and then bring your knowledge to Ghana to help. So I facilitated for people to get scholarships to go to Germany, Belgium, Canada, China, and all of that. And these were very interesting. Just last month, I went to Ofuman. I helped one young man called Kodom to go and study in Canada.
Wow.
I was in Ofuman trying to visit old people. I went to one house. I didn't even know that was Kodom's grandmother's house. The sick woman got up and hugged me and said, because of me, now she has no challenge with her medication and food because Kodom is in Canada, has finished school, and he was working. And so he's able to bring her money. And so these are the things that make me happy.
Very touching word.
That at the end of the day, I've been able to help people who also come back to help the society. Of course, anybody I help, I tell them, as for me, my needs are so limited, it's a shame. I don't need too many things. If you go and it works well for you, come back and help your community. And I thank Kodom for making one of these dreams come true. Again, if you talk of infrastructure, again, I renovated the Tubodom Clinic. All these things whilst I was Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts.
Wow.
Then I'll take you to after I left office. And so there I made sure that I renovated that clinic for my own salary. I spoke to the First Lady at that time, Excellency Lordina Mahama, who also brought hospital equipment to these people. I facilitated for them to get computers and all of that. And so briefly, these are some of the things that I did whilst I was Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts. Now that I'm out of office, I have set up a soap factory in Tobodom.
Oh, wow.
So in my bid to create jobs, because I know that if these women are able to acquire skills, it helps them to gain employment. Again, I have also renovated the police station at Boyem, a few rooms there. I've donated materials to Ofumai, also police station, because they need to renovate a place for their police men to live. So when it comes to security, that's what I've done for Techimai North. Let's come to education. Even as I sit here, I still sponsor a lot of people to go to school. When you talk about water, I think that has been my niche. Anywhere that a borehole has become faulty, ever since I left office, I have retrofitted it.
Wow.
And I am, this you can check. Anytime any borehole is faulty, they'll call me. And then I am now mechanizing water for people of Asemehun, because the ladies there complain to me that throughout the night they are there trying to pump water. And so if I could mechanize it for them, they'll be happy. As I talk to you right now, I've sent my poly tank and my contractor is there constructing the stand and then where the pipes will flow from. So that's for Aseme Home. If you come to electrification,
Okay.
where I launch a project, a solar project, and I have indicated that anywhere in Techima North that they don't have electricity, I'll provide them with solar lamps.
Wow.
I have started so far, I've distributed about 50 and still counting. One thing they like about me is the fact that anything you ask from me, if I'm able to provide it, I let you know. If it's not within my means to do it, I'll let you know. Because I don't want to join people who promise and don't deliver. And so even as I indicated to you that I will provide solar lamps for every village that doesn't have electricity, I have all those lamps in my house.
Wow.
I am doing a 10-seater WC for people of Tubodom.
Wow.
Because that area is called Dome Passy. They've never had a public toilet before, and it's not as if they have some in their homes either. So they use the refuse dump. The first day I walked there and they told me this, I decided to build a 10-seater WC for them. Now it's at the roofing level, and I hope to I promise to deliver it in 6 months. We are in the 3rd month, but it's likely that I'll deliver it even before 6 months to the people of Tubodom. If you go to Boyem, I'm doing a toilet facility for the hospital. I'm doing a urinal for them as well. And I'm providing farm equipment for some women. If you go to Arowa right now, there is an NGO, Ohima Foundation. I'm sponsoring them to take care of women in pepper production. I have acquired a piece of land to start a pepper factory for them.
Wow.
And this is born out of a visit to the market. I went there to buy pepper, and a bag of pepper was 100 cedis. I was surprised, and they told me that it could even go down. Then I told myself, what can I do for my people? Because I know farming is difficult. I accompany them to farm some of the times. I work with them. I take off my lawyer shoes and wear my boots, and then we work. And so I know that farming is not easy. So to farm and sell pepper at 100 cedis or less, I thought wasn't fair. And so as I speak to you right now, the chief has given me a piece of land for that factory. I've spoken to CSIR, and we are working together to ensure that I put up a factory there to help them dry the pepper and grind it.
Wow.
And so you see, the people of Techima North have every justification to vote for me to go to Parliament, to help them get a job, to help them have development, and to help them live a comfortable life. And more importantly, to get a big voice in Parliament for them, because I think they deserve better.
I can really bet with my last penny on that. I can see the development you are making in that very part of our country, and I'm really happy. One of these days we would have to go on the grounds and go and find out all of these things you are saying. That
would be very interesting, and I would love that. I'm told that some time ago a company, a microfinance company, wanted to help some people get capital, and then people came and said, I'm having a poultry farm. Others came and said, I have a banchi factory. And so at the end of the discussion, the resource person told them that, so from here we'll go to your various workplaces to go and check the farm and the factory. They said, oh, like today? The man said yes, so we can't make it today. What it means is that no poultry existed, no Gary factory existed. So in my case, we can go today because everything will be on ground for you to see.
Okay.
If you talking of Gary, there's a Gary factory at Akrofong. The location of the Gary factory is creating a challenge for the people who live there because of the water that comes from the processing plant. And so the authorities wanted to kick them out of that location. They didn't have a manhole for it to collect the water. And so as I speak to you right now, I'm doing one for them to ensure that the women there work in dignity, the women there work in a very hygienic condition, and they get to keep the location that they are working from, because I know that if women have jobs to do, the home is a good place to live.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yes.
If I should ask and find out from you, maybe in 5 years, your vision for Techima North, what would you say? Maybe 2-3 things that you would love to make a mention on, said today, that this is my vision. In the next 5 years, I want to see Techima. I'm sure they're going to vote for you. So when you get to Parliament in the next 4-5 years, what's that plan for Techima North?
I hope in the next 4-5 years, Techima North will have a district hospital. Techima North will have a training college. Techima North will have jobs for its young people. Techima North will have development that we so much cherished. Techima North the people in Techima North will live comfortable lives, and they will have a big voice in Parliament for them.
I love that. That's a good one. So we're going to follow through and encourage that all these you've made a mention, the district hospital, the training college, more jobs for the people of Techiman, and enough development as well. Well, still hard talk here on Tumpani Television with yours truly, the cream of creams, Kofi Asante Mensah. But I'm still wondering why there's no continuity in our country, where there's a little complaint you made mention earlier on that there was a road construction, and when you left power, it kind of stalled. Why is this? How painful or uncomfortable is this situation to you?
Kofi, this is really painful. The people of Boyem deserve a good road. These are hard-working people. They cultivate tiger nuts, groundnuts in commercial quantities. And then during the time of NDC, we managed to get a contractor on the road, a contract signed, drains made with gravels on it. It was left with bitumen, and then NDC lost power. And the contractor was sacked in the name of investigating all contracts. I think if there was any investigation to be made, 6 months shouldn't have elapsed. We are voting tomorrow. The people of Boyem are still struggling. And it's so dangerous to live in Boyem now because the roads are so bad that if you get to where the potholes are really visible, you have to slow down. And in the process, armed robbers attack them and take their money. This is sad. This goes beyond politics. We must think of the people who send us to power and then take good care of them. So it's sad. I keep on telling the people of Boyem, December is just at the corner. Go to that box. Remember that you are voting for good roads for Boyem. You are voting for Elizabeth Ofosu Agyar, and you are voting for Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And then your road will be fixed. It is obvious that after 4 years, if these roads have not been fixed and we're almost done, you know who to choose.
When I return from this break, we are going to do hard talk. We'll find out, being a woman politician, the challenges, and we'll also assess the government or this very administration. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Please wait for us. We'll be right back.
Do you have a story that is boggling your mind? Marriage issues, relationship issues, or social issues? You name it. Which you wish to share but hide your identity. Worry the less. My story is just the right platform to help you find profound solutions to your problem. My name is Veronica Akomlakson, your host for my story.
This and every Monday, 8 to 8:45 p.m.
on EP Urban Radio TV
and Tumpani TV.
EP Urban Radio TV, the new face of radio and TV.
For sponsorship,
It's like our hearts have intertwined into the perfect harmony.
Hi! When was the last time you read a good book or listened to a great poetry piece? Do you feel lazy doing either of them? Well, let me invite you to join me this and every Thursday right here on EP Urban Radio and Tumpani TV from 5 to 5:30 p.m. as I treat you to some good book reviews and great poetry pieces from some of your great poets and authors. You can be a part of the show as well. Just send me a DM, and like I always say, join me on my MPYOB. Let's chill.
welcome back. It's still Hard Talk with yours truly, Kofi Asante Mensah, the cream of creams. And this is Tumpane Television, EP, Urban Radio, TV. And we're live on all social media handles. Please remember, download our mobile app, and it is 2C TV. We are live also on Go Television. But mind you, on Instagram, it is EP Radio TV with the number 2. Thank you very much and welcome back. Let's dig a little deeper into the few challenges you face as a woman doing politics. How is it like?
There are women with thick skins, and I think I have one.
You have a thicker one.
I have a thicker one. I don't see why men can do politics
and play the
women
political games
cannot,
and women can't.
We give birth to you, don't we?
It's true.
And so I think that for me as Elizabeth, I have what it takes to do anything I want to do. I think that what a man can do, a woman can also do, and sometimes even better. Because of that, I'm guided by that principle in all the things that I do. I agree that if you go to places, some men are of the opinion that leadership belongs to men. But I think that we have women who have all the qualities to even lead better. And because of that guiding principle, I'm always cool.
And you have a thick skin.
I do.
Ready for the hard hitting comments from your opponents?
So ready for those comments, because I won't sit here and expect good comments from my opponents. And so I'm always prepared, but I try to do all the right things. So even if you want derogatory remarks to make you, it will take a lot of effort, and at the end of the day you will see that the things that you are saying will not add up, because I'm really living up to expectation. Now
let's talk about Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government, and he has done more than 3 years. This is his 4th year, and elections are preparation into the general polls is underway. The EC trying to do a new register, but look at the administration: corruption fight, infrastructure development, education, etc. What is your assessment of this government?
I am candid. I think the administration is not going well. The economy is in shambles.
Okay.
The whole idea of compiling a new register is a mistake, because if you calculate, we have 5 months to an election. It is not humanly possible for anybody to do a credible register within the next 5 months.
The institution that is mandated by law says they can.
And I am saying that if I tell you right now that I'll be able to build a 10-story in 2 minutes, just because I have an excavator, just because I have cement and blocks, will you believe it? Just because this piece of land is mine, because I have my own piece of land, contractors are on site, and I tell you that I'm going to build a 10-story building in 2 days, will you believe it?
I'm not sure.
So the fact that somebody says she can do a job does not mean she can really do it, because we can calculate. Look at the number of people we have to register within 5 months. Look at all the processes. And so I think that trying to get a new voter register is a mistake we must not commit. It is a mistake we must not commit. And I repeat, a new register is a mistake we must not commit. The time is too short. If the Electoral Commission wants to do a new register, it can do that next year when it has time. But for 5 months into an election, trying new equipment, hey, this is terrible. What if the machines don't work, like it didn't work in the Western region? Look at the time that we have. Have you thought of what people's reaction will be if at the end of the exercise, their names are unable to go onto the register? People whose names are on the register already. Kofi, look at this. This register brought the current president to power. It brought Excellency John Mahama to power. We did the new regions with this register. We just did the assembly election with this register. The EC said it was a credible. Yes, Ayawaso. The EC said it was a credible register. When did it become bad? At what point did the register had problems?
But don't forget, we have also created about 6 new regions.
So all these 6 regions their names are on the register already. So anytime that we create a region, we have to write a new register? Maybe not. And so I don't think that looking at the time we have on our hands, it is prudent for us to do a new register. I rather think that if there are things to do, we can work with the old register. For example, doing a limited registration that can bring people whose name are not on the register onto the register. But doing a new register that write your name again, Kofi, I don't think it's smart. Especially within the era of COVID-19. Apart from the fact that the time is short, COVID-19 is also there. It is real. It is spreading. I mean, we don't need a new register.
For COVID, we have no problem because they are going to ensure all the protocols work. Social distancing, wearing of nose masks, etc. That's what they are saying.
For all these people. For all Ghanaians above the age of 18.
So they can register.
So they can register. Can you imagine? Is it what we need right now as a country?
That's what they tell us. We need it. Else we can vote 2020, December 7.
But we're able to vote in the last election with the assembly members. Everybody voted and it was good. I want to know what has happened between the time of the last election where we voted for the assembly members and now. What has happened? So
you think it's not a good time to do this?
It is not a good time.
What's your assessment of this president with the fight of corruption fight?
Very, very poor. Very, very poor.
He has established and set up a special prosecutor's office and administratively given that office money to be able to discharge its duties.
Kofi, we all know that you can build a very nice house, put in a very nice kitchen, put a chef there, and not allow the chef to even cook. The fact of your having a nice kitchen doesn't mean you are providing food. And you can't tell me that people in that house are not hungry because you gave them just a kitchen.
But you are aware some of the Israel John Mahama administration ministers or people who played major roles in the previous administrations, some are in jail already.
And who started those prosecutions? Who started those prosecutions? And how many of the current administration appointees have been tried? How many of them have been tried in spite of the corruption allegation against them? Tell me the number of people in this current government who have been tried for corruption. And so it's one thing saying something and another thing doing it. Somebody told me, now I don't listen to politicians anymore. I look at what they do because they say something different from what they actually do. And so I am not listening to what people are saying. I'm listening to what they are actually doing. And I think that the fight against corruption is very
of 1 to 10.
Poor. And you know what poor means? It's poor. And you know what will give you poor.
Infrastructure development, education. He promised several developmental initiatives like one district, one factory, one village, one dam. Every constituency would have some $1 million and I think he's on course.
Yes, he's on course for not doing it. He's on course for not doing any of these things that he promised. Because, for example, he promised 60 schools from scratch to completion. Can you show me where one is? None that I've seen, none that I've read of. I won't sit here and pretend I've read every news item, but you are a journalist. Can you help me with one of these new secondary schools? I can speak for my constituency. I can speak for my district. We plant a lot of tomatoes, pepper, and vegetables, and so a dam will be such a great idea for the people of Techumai North. And I can speak to you and say that there is no dam in Techumai North. 2, I can say there is no factory from this current government in Techumai North in the name of one district, one factory. And so what are we talking about? And so if he's on course, maybe on course for not doing any of the things that he promised. So for me, if you talk about infrastructure, I've not seen any new road in my constituency. I've not seen any new road. When MDC was in power, we did the Tobodom Ofuman Road. We were supposed to continue from Ofuman to Wenchi. It's still there. The Boyam Road I'm speaking of is still there. We had already awarded contracts for the construction of Tobodom Town Roads. It's still there. So what infrastructure are you talking about? We can compare with Excellency John Dramani Mahama in terms of infrastructure. We have an E-block in Techmai North. We have a nurses training college in Techmai North. We have ICT center in Techmai North. We have a lot of classroom blocks in Techmai North. I won't be able to even tell you all. And so, if you talk to me about infrastructure and you are comparing Excellency John Dramani Mahama with Nana Addo, then I can tell you without thinking that Excellency John Dramani Mahama remains the Commissioner General. Good at infrastructure, good at helping the people, and good at developing constituencies.
But that couldn't be true, because he quite recently indicated that even your green book, these are ghost projects, full of gallery pictures, and it is not the reality on the ground. He is doing from Tema to Akosombo Railway. He's doing a lot. He recently commissioned the motorway interchange. And all these projects are there for evidence purposes.
Okay. You see, when people just speculate, I usually don't answer. Because I can sit here and say that you have only 2 shirts. I've not been to your wardrobe before. I have not met you twice. And so if I say you have only 2 shirts, I don't think you take me seriously. The best thing for you to say is, look at page 4 of the Green Book. You indicated that you have constructed an E-block at Krobo in Techmai North. But when I went to Krobo, there is no such E-block. Then we can debate. But if you say that things in the picture, the Green Book is just a book of pictures, I don't know what answer to give you. Because I know for a fact that pictures in the Green Books are not drawings. They are pictures actually taken on the ground. And so if you want to fault somebody, you can't fault the person on his strength. If you want to fault Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you can't fault him on infrastructure. How did he get the Commissioner General? Because he was commissioning projects day in and day out, to the point where he could not commission most of the projects that he completed.
There was a comment from the president who indicates that more or less all the Green Book projects that you so muchly rattle and loud about, these are fantasy, and amazingly it's not the picture on the ground. But you sought to intimate that it's the other way around.
And I'm saying that these are not even drawings or an artist's impression. These are pictures actually taken on the ground. And so I'm yet to hear which pages in the Green Book are the fantasies.
Okay.
As for comments, you know, everybody has the right in a democracy. People are free to express their views. They are free to say whatever they like. But for the Green Books, they actually depict the things that Excellency Dramani Mahama did. Let me even add, the Green Book is not even a full compilation of the infrastructure development under Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
You don't mean it?
I'm telling you, and I can repeat, the Green Book is not a full compilation of the
because when you
infrastructure development of Excellency John Dramani Mahama. a lot of them were not even put in the Green Book. Because you see, there is a limit to what pages you want to have in a book. And so, even if people are scared of the level of development in the Green Book, I have good news for them. The development exceeded what's in the Green. I can even give you one. For example, the Accra Tourist Information Center. It's not in the Green Book. It's not in the Green Book, but it's part of Excellency's infrastructure project.
Now let's talk a little bit about tourism. Do a little bit of comparison or look at performance index of the current Minister for Tourism, Art and Culture, Barbara Otinje, you see. Is she performing well?
Okay. As a former Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, I am sad. Yes.
You are?
I am. And if you look at the kind of work we did and where tourism is right now, I am sad. So I'll give you examples.
Okay.
You know that there is a law, there is a bill for the creative arts industry.
Yes.
During my tenure as Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, I did the sensitization and toured that time all the 10 regions of Ghana with my team. We put together the Creative Arts Bill. So now you can call it the Arts Bill. Where is it? Where is that bill? When the field work had been done, all that anybody had to do was to take the bill to Cabinet, to the Attorney Generals, and then to Parliament. Where is the bill? So it's painful that you spend all your time to do this and it doesn't see the light
Of day.
Because in that bill, if it becomes an act, there is a creative arts fund. And that fund can really go a long way in helping people in their arts. Because it's very difficult for them to get access to funding. That is why His Excellency John Dramani Mahama created that ministry, helped us put that bill together so that it becomes a law. We have a fund that will take care of the creative arts industry. Where is that law? Where is that fund? As if that is not bad enough, let's even talk about the Film Act, which I proudly led for it to be passed from scratch to end. In 2016, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama signed the Film Act. In that Film Act is also a fund to help the people in the film industry. Where is that fund? Where is that fund? And so if you are a former minister and you work so hard, and since government continues, you will think that another person will come and ensure that your hard work, comes to a certain kind of fruition, and it doesn't. It's painful. Where is the Marine Drive project? Where has it got into? The Marine Drive project is the development of all that piece of land, starting from the Ofosu Castle to Baden Power. Where is that project? And so, I think that there is more room for improvement to help the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative, and now Ministry of Arts.
Do you mean to say the tourism sector is on decline?
Your words, but I agree with you.
Time wouldn't permit us, we'll leave it here. A pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me too.
Absolutely. Her name is Honorable Mrs. Elizabeth Ofosu Agyare, and she's been my guest here. She's former Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts Minister, and she is on the bid to wrestle the seat for Techima North. And she has been our guest here on Hard Talk. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah. Thank you so much for being there for us. And this is how we'll call it. What goes around, comes around.
Before I leave, my greetings to the people of Techima North.
Okay.
I want the people of Techima North to know that Elizabeth Ofosu Agyare is for the people. She's for jobs. she's for development, and she's going to be a big voice in Parliament for her people.
I love that so much, and like I used to say, what goes around comes around, and the chameleon changes color to match the earth, but the earth never changes color. God bless you, and thank you very much for being there.
They are babblers, noise makers. Noise makers. And you see, people have been outwitted in their minds. Follow them. Majority of them, I'm sorry to say on air, that they've been fooled.